When Senator Joe Manchin announced that he would not be running to retain his Senate seat in West Virginia, everyone starts talking about, oh, he's aiming for higher office. He's definitely going to run for president. But they weren't really talking about the fact that he was going to have a really hard time winning re-election. And no one was helping to fan those flames more than Joe Manchin.
Are you considering running for president?
I will do anything I can to help my country.
Is that a yes?
And you're saying, does that mean you would consider it? Absolutely.
I don't think he's going to run. Here's why. Because it seems so clear he would take away votes from Biden. And he has teased this out before. He was on NewsNation yesterday saying he viewed Donald Trump as a threat to democracy and Joe Biden just moving a little too far to the left. That doesn't sound like a guy who's willing to lead Joe Biden to potentially lose the election. But that is different than running in a primary. It seems too many have already written off other options, such as Democratic Congressman Dean Phillips, who's running against Biden, as well as Republicans who are more centrist than Donald Trump, like Nikki Haley, who's been gaining a lot of traction lately. I am not giving up on the other options on either side. Am I living in a fantasy land, May? I am, really?
Yes. There's just an idea of inevitability. So I think that it is, I don't know, noble to try and stop the inevitability train because most Americans don't want a Biden-Trump rematch. But I don't know, how much can you fight gravity?
Well, well here's what I'm if you ask me, I'll tell you each side my hope, right? And I've got this little fantasy about how it works on each side. On the Republican side, it works that DeSantis or Nikki Haley win Iowa, the same person then wins New Hampshire, and suddenly there's a real fight, and then it becomes that one person against Trump. That gives the person a chance. On the Democratic side, Dean Phillips is the no-name Democrat that they have been pleading for, right? Someone with no history. We don't know anything about the guy, apart from the fact that he's really a congressman, so he's legit in that sense, right? And as a result, it's someone other than Biden. And that gains traction over time.
Didn't he call himself generic? He goes, look, this is not what I wanted, but it was generic. You really don't think Manchin would run? If any opportunity, now would be the opportunity. Look at RFK's numbers. I mean, do you think those would be successful in any other president election?
RFK is a totally different candidate than Manchin. Manchin's votes are almost exclusively going to come from the Biden side. RFK is splitting, basically. He's taking some from Trump, maybe even more from Trump, and some from Biden. I don't think Manchin's running.
More from independents, though. I
yeah,
think, right.
I mean, but you know, the question becomes, why do we? Again, I know Dean Phillips is not, and it's almost like a joke, right? When I talk about Dean Phillips, people start like, "Come on, Dean Phillips," and I'm like, no, really. You look at the polls, the New York Times polls of the battleground states, where Trump trounces Biden, but you put in a no-name Democrat, and no-name Democrat trounces Trump. Well, hello, Mr. No-name Democrat, he's running.
Well, listen, we don't live in a parliamentary system. We can't just vote for the party and get what we get. We live in a system where those candidates have a ceiling. So unless they're stronger than Joe Biden and the Democratic Party and every single Democratic Party office across America and the organization and the super PACs that come with it, you're not going to win, so then Donald Trump wins.
He's already got 15%. Again, I'm not talking about running as independent. Right?
No, I understand.
I'm
in the primary.
Running in the primary.
Primary is even more difficult.
Right, but that's right. But already Dean Phillips has 15% to Biden's. I don't know if we can pull up the poll numbers there about exactly what they are. He's not winning, but he's basically as competitive, you see there, as Nikki Haley is in New Hampshire with Donald Trump, and no one on the Democratic side wants to talk. You know, they're. Dean Phillips.
Well, also it's unprecedented. When is the last time we had a sitting president have a real primary?
Right.
Jimmy Carter, right?
And when is the last time we had a sitting president who was 80, who seemed like he was 95? And who had a vice president who was so wildly unpopular that, you know, I don't understand why Democrats aren't thinking about this stuff.
No, they are. They are.
It's a five-alarm fire.
David Axelrod is like fantasizing about it every single day and saying it on Twitter all day long.
The DNC is structurally opposed to it, right?
Absolutely.
Like, they could say, let's do a debate.
Yep.
Let's do a debate. And I think as soon as they said, let's do a debate, I think the American public would say, this is a real primary.
You're right. They don't want to do it. Yep. Everyone's going to stick around. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.